I've compiled some really incredible information about how much money is actually flowing around the planet. And when people talk about a very high price for XRP, once I show you this information, maybe it'll help you better understand why I think XRP can reach a 5-digit value before we actually think it can. Some people think this is going to be like 20 years down the line. I realistically think over the next 5 to 10 years, you will see a $10,000 XRP. And I'm going to show you that information in this video, why I think that. So first, we need to cover a few other things here. I just thought this was a big announcement. Binance announces complete delisting of USDT in the EU on March 31st. Now, understand the reason that this is happening is because Tether itself has never had a physical audit of their, the money to back up their stablecoin. If you don't know how stablecoins work, let me just show you this really quickly. Whatever the price, how much is in this. So $142 billion in market cap means that Tether, one for one, needs to have $142 billion to back up this $142 billion that they've issued in their stablecoin. Now, Tether itself has worked with a few auditors in the past, but as of a few years ago, the one auditor that they were working with actually ended up quitting mid-audit and made Tether, the company, delete all of the information because Tether was starting to use some of the information that they had put forth to say, oh, look, we're audited, we're in the clear, when really that's not the case. So the EU is 27 countries. What's next, right? Is the United States going to follow suit? Remember, in the week of March 10th, Congress is going to be working on stablecoin regulation. Now, if stablecoins are going to become an everyday part of our life, they need to be regulated at the highest level. In the United States, the highest level is the New York Department of Financial Services. If the name sounds familiar, that's because they are the ones who gave Ripple the go-ahead. And because the New York Department of Financial Services gave Ripple the go-ahead and verify everything, every single month, Ripple stablecoin, RLUSD, actually gets audited to make sure that they have the money to back up. Now, how this is usually done, no, you don't have a bank vault filled with, $100 bills of $142 billion. That would just be truly insane. What happens here is usually there's some type of securities, usually treasury bonds, because treasury bonds are easier to transport. Instead of, having, 5 rooms filled with cash, you can, have a stack full of, multi-million-dollar treasury bonds. And this could equal 142 billion. My question is this: if Tether is so confident that, nothing is wrong, why haven't they had an audit, like an official audit, in 11 years? Why haven't we seen the details of that audit? This is why I think that more countries are going to drop USDT, and this could lead to possibly USDT depegging. If there is a run on people dumping USDT, that could turn into another Terra Luna collapse. Now, I don't want you to panic, but you need to know this information. If you're new to the crypto space, or if you've been here a while and you're not thinking about these things and you have all of your money in a stable coin and it's in USDT, this information might save you money down the line. Now, if Tether can come forward and actually start, being a regulated stablecoin at the highest levels, then I would imagine the EU and probably the US and other countries eventually will let it back in. But right now, it doesn't look very good. And then you also have Ripple investor SBI VC Trade will be the first to list Circle stablecoin under the country's new payments framework. So you do see Ripple's RLUSD and Circle's USDC as two of the maybe highest regulated stablecoins in all of the world. And as you can see, Circle's USDC is the first USD stablecoin in Japan. Now, I'd imagine that Ripple stablecoin won't be far behind, but I'm sure there's maybe some licenses or things that Ripple would need to do in order to get their stablecoin approved by Japanese regulators. And I would imagine we will see that before you know it. Now, this is what I really wanted to get into today and talk about. So this person is saying many retail see XRP as a speculative investment, but the user case is diverse. Cross-border payments. So, how much is in cross-border payments? We hear about this. We mentioned all the time by people, on YouTube and on Twitter and wherever else you get your information. I'm sure you hear this all the time. So I looked it up. Currently, according to recent data, the total value of cross-border payments is estimated to be at $150 trillion annually. Now, I heard, somebody from Swift, I recorded a video earlier today that'll probably come out tomorrow that, so on some good days, the Swift network can see over $20 trillion moved on it. So this number of $150 trillion annually, I think, is a much lower number compared to what it actually really is. And I think this number could be into the quadrillions if you start adding up all the money, right? Also, when you're taking a look at foreign exchange, this is another avenue that Ripple has been, pursuing. I think right now Ripple covers 80 to 90% of the entire FX market globally. And remember, XRP Ledger has 5, 6, 7,000 different currencies. I think it was 2 years ago that I saw the number was 5,400. So I can only imagine over the last few years that number has significantly grown. Eventually, you're going to see 10, 20, 30,000 different types of currency pairs, everything being traded in and out of each other. But the foreign exchange market, guys, this is where a lot of value gets transacted. And so this is using numbers from April or October 2023. US daily trading was US $7.5 trillion. And the reason that XRP is perfect for this is because you can go from one currency into a completely different currency, having XRP as the bridge currency. This is a very cheap way to do this, and this allows banks and financial institutions globally to get rid of those Nostro Vostro accounts where they have money locked up all over the world. It's the highest number I've seen is $27 trillion. That is an enormous amount of money that is just becoming stale. I say this often on my channel. Think of what banks and financial institutions could do if that money was actually unlocked and they could use XRP instead of having that money locked up. So also you have bank and financial institutions settlement asset. I wanted to better understand this. It says, according to recent data, the total value of assets held by U.S. banks and financial institutions is approximately $135.89 trillion. Now, we know by listening to people like Larry Fink and the CEO of BNY Mellon that the future of the stock and the bond and derivative market is through tokenization of those assets. You have the physical asset in the everyday world, and then you have a duplicate asset that lives on chain. When that asset is bought or sold, that value can be sent and transacted instantaneously, and that is really the future. Now, as this tokenization future moves forward, this $135 trillion is going to wind its way up on blockchain. Now, Sensei, what blockchain will this end up on? I think it'll be a mixture of several different good use cases. HBAR, Algorand, XRP, XLM, XDC, and probably a host of others. Ondo Finance, right? There's going to be a lot of players that actually get a piece of this. Now, if you really want to dive or drive into what assets really will see the most value, whatever banks and financial institutions are talking about most, the best technology on the planet, those are the ones that are going to be, chosen to lead the way through this tokenization future. Also, you have decentralized finance and tokenization of assets. We did just touch on that, right? Securities and capital market tokenization. That is kind of all of the same thing here. And then, this person is saying 15,000 is realistic. I've done so many different, analysis on, $15,000, $10,000 price for XRP. It's not really that far-fetched. If we're able to lower the circulating supply of XRP to about 10 billion tokens, which is, right now we're at about 57 to 60 billion, lowering that to 10 billion would require a lot of work through staking, through long-term holding from central banks or financial institutions. But if the US steps up and starts buying billions of XRP, if the EU does the same, that is going to put tremendous pressure on the entire system to also hold XRP, because that asset is probably going to have intrinsic value in the near future because all of these institutions are going to be hoarding XRP. I do see that actually happening because unlike most assets in the crypto space, XRP really does have all of these use cases unlocked. So really something to pay attention to. And of course, there's a lot of people that believe, like I do, that XRP is easily to 10,000. Now, in order to do that, you need about $100 trillion of value added to the XRP ledger and about $10 billion in circulating supply of tokens. That would get you to $10,000. Now, there's a lot of other people that believe the same thing. Let me go ahead and play this for you. I think this is Marcus Infinger, but let me play this.
So look, the XRP ledger is able to settle any transaction in 3 seconds. So I think I should be able to explain tokenization in 60 seconds. Hi, my name is Marcus and this is Crypto in a Minute. Tokenization is transformative for finance because essentially it's the portal allowing us to bring traditional financial markets, which at the core are still really stuck in the pre-internet era, full of red tape, onto blockchain networks, which are global out of the gate and significantly more efficient. If you think about it, there's over $1 quadrillion worth of financial assets that exists today in the world. They take days to settle and weeks to get issued, and 20% of the world population doesn't even have access to them. Now just imagine what it means to the global economy in terms of productivity, but also prosperity to everyone, if we find ways to operate just 10% more efficiently with these assets, or we can get just 10% of these people who are excluded from the global economy into the global economy. And this is exactly what drives us every single day.
Remember, I think it's like 20% of people around the world don't have access to a bank account, right? And bank account is really the key to unlocking financial freedom for people buying a home, student loans, personal loans, credit cards, debit card. These type of things are vitally important to, everyday living. And so as the world moves forward towards this, you have a company that works with Ripple called Tunes, Thunes. They are connected to over 3 billion with a B mobile wallets. Now, I don't know, hold on. How many adults are there in the world? I'd imagine the number is like 6 billion. I never even decided to look this up. It doesn't really give me a number. The world's population is projected to increase by 9.7 billion by 2050. That doesn't help me. So listen, even if the number is like 6 or 7 billion adults in the world, if you have 3 billion already connected into XRP just by one of these, partnerships, imagine all of Ripple's network, right? Visa, MasterCard, American Express, right? Union Pay. You have so many connections here that can unlock all of this value. And then you also have people that believe XRP could be a whole lot higher than $10,000. I mean, this Jimmy Valley is not a crazy person. He's an incredibly smart individual that has done the work with his team to really assess what the future value of XRP could be. Now, this is a 49-second clip. If you've been in the crypto space for a while, you've seen and heard this clip, but this kind of ties together everything that we've talked about in this video. So let me go ahead and play this for you.
Global tax deals happening. We got global deals on principles for how they're going to, interact among each other with central bank digital currencies. And people really believe they couldn't come up with a price set for XRP. That's like not even hard to think
There's
about.
no logic there. It doesn't make sense.
So if they do that, we believe the value would be higher than it was in September and October of 2021 when we were throwing out 25,037.5 a coin.
So it would be a higher price than previous prediction.
Probably in the 50,000 now, I would think. We haven't brought the numbers down, but I'm just thinking about all the additional trillions of dollars that got pumped in to the economy.
The debt,
We don't know if $50,000 is the future for XRP price, but I just want to put this into perspective for you, right? Let's say Jimmy Valley, Verson, and his brother here are correct, and XRP eventually goes to $50,000. Now, they're talking about XRP kind of instantly going to that price, because if we have, the old system that collapses and all of the value in the world has to go on chain and that is represented on the XRP ledger, overnight, right? Owning 1,000 XRP would be worth $50 million, right? Because 1,000 times 1,000 is 1 million. Imagine having 1,000 XRP and it being worth 50,000 per coin. It's $50 million. That means if you own 20,000 XRP, using this math, you would be a billionaire, right? I mean, this is why people take the risk in the crypto industry, right? A lot of people lose money. I've lost money on scams and rug pulls and good projects that have collapsed because like a hack or the team is, incompetent, or somebody leaves, or the developer does something, right? There's so many different ways people can lose money, but to a lot of us, it's worth the risk because this is our everyday life. And if we can invest in a technology that reshapes the world, well, maybe our life can change for the better. Now, I'm not saying money solves everything, but if you've lived a life not having money and having to work every single day of your life, not knowing where the next paycheck will come from, this is a stress that many people live with. Now, this is why I believe that, millions of people own XRP because they're interested in a financial freedom for their future. So Ripple's escrow safeguards XRP's price. Ripple's escrow system was designed to eliminate uncertainty about XRP's future supply. By locking up a significant portion of XRP, Ripple ensured the market wouldn't be concerned about centralized control over its distribution. The majority of XRP in escrow is released periodically, preliminary to incentive market makers for XRP-based currency exchanges and for sales to institutional investors. Remember, the United States is about to be an institutional investor into XRP. Ripple could make a deal, which I would imagine they've already made a deal, right? They've already probably agreed on a number. If the Trump White House is announcing, that XRP, ADA, Solana are going to be in a strategic reserve alongside Bitcoin and Ethereum, it leads me to believe that this conversation has already been had. Now, let me know down in the description if you think the conversation has been had and what do you think are the details, because I'd love to better understand what your thought process is, because I learned a whole lot from your comments down in the description. So it says in May 2017, in order to remove uncertainty around XRP's future supply, Ripple Labs Inc. announced plans to lock up 55 billion XRP. Ripple Labs expects to use XRP to continue incentivizing market makers to offer tighter spreads between currency pairs in exchange for XRP and to sell XRP to institutional investors. A little bit more of what we talked about already. There's currently 37 billion and some change XRP left in escrow. You also have, this is from Crypto, Good Morning Crypto. Eric Trump stated President Trump is committed to U.S. crypto strategic reserve and capital gains reduction. So this is actually very interesting, right? A large part of things that suck around the crypto industry is paying taxes, right? A lot of people don't pay taxes in the crypto industry, and that could be trouble ahead. But if they are able to pass this, that US-based crypto projects will benefit from zero capital gains taxes, this could have a huge impact on those cryptocurrencies that will be affected by this. And you also have a lot of whale activity. Whale activity in the XRP market has surged with nearly 1 billion coins purchased in the last 24 hours. Daily active addresses also spiked, exceeding 135,000 on March 4th. Retail, institutions, and whales are coming in, and they understand how important XRP is. Now, we are still all just speculating on XRP's value. Once we get to a utility value, that is where things can drastically change for the better. And Dark Defender is saying XRP second leg up, be prepared, currently sitting around $2.47. He's saying that we could blast past this all-time high and be to $5 before you know it. Where do you think we are going to be at the end of this month or at the end of this year, guys? Let me know down in the comments. I hope you got value. If you did, please hit like. I'll see you next time. Aloha.